what is one creative thing that you wanted to try but you haven't? Like maybe something photography or maybe ceramics, just it could be even be
Wow.
dance or a sport, just something creative that you wanted to do but you haven't tried.
I wanted to make a video game. I
Wow.
wanted to that's what I wanted to do. Kind of like I wanted to do something on like the AAA game level about drivers here in Houston. Because we
Huh.
every city has bad drivers. I wanted to talk about that, and it's maybe the insurance company purposely puts people, hero has to uncover it. Like
Yeah.
that would be my story. And then
Nice.
I guess another one would be I always wanted to make a theme park, you know.
Oh, really?
I've always wanted to do that.
That's wild. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, I've looked up, I've gotten as far as looking up, there's the National Amusement, uh, some conference or something that you can go to. I need to look it up again.
Do you
I looked it
already
up a
you have
couple of
like
years ago.
do you have ideas for characters already?
Yeah, so it would just be my books. This will be after I
Oh,
have a
okay.
few more with library. Obviously Kaliko would be there for the kids. You'd have the Becky the horror movie show. There'd be Becky's Funhouse. So if you've been on the Haunted Mansion at
Oh,
Disney, it'd be like that.
that's dope.
Yeah,
Okay, I get you.
yeah,
That's dope. All right.
yeah.
Um, what is one challenge or hurdle that you experienced with your latest project?
Man, just keeping it funded, like just the
Mhm.
page to page funding. That is the hardest thing. I tell people every time, every book, it just goes to the next one.
Yeah.
And we're able to do it, but that's probably just the hardest thing. Just keeping it out there and in people's hearts and minds. Because when people see it, they tend to like it. But that's been the toughest part right there.
Well, you have a Kickstarter for this latest one, so I'll put that in the description box so people can
Okay.
go and support you in that way. Also, do you have any sort of daily routine, um, sort of daily ritual or daily practice that you do around your creative method?
So for me, it's funny, I will go out and just kind of do some cardio, you know, because and I'll put on like some not Hollywood movie soundtracks. I'll put those on because for whatever that plus cardio will get my brain working.
Nice.
And then I'll just kind of type it in my phone, the notes real quick if I have an idea because they'll start coming. And it's like catching butterflies. You gotta do
Yeah,
this so you don't forget it. You know what
for
I mean?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've woken up out of my sleep and just like, okay, I'm not gonna remember this in the morning. Let me just type it in my phone
Right.
because I will never remember it. And you don't. So I've had situations like,
Hmm.
what was that I thought of at 2 a.m.? Dang it. And so I
Like,
learned the hard way. Just put it in the phone. And I go back to sleep, but you gotta type it down when you think of it.
or even that voice memo. Your phone now got that voice memo.
Yes.
You could do that too.
I've done that to try to keep up with all my different platforms. I've done a voice memo and just it I just got voice to text, which is amazing.
Nice.
So it types it out for me. Let's see. Next question. Um, if you could send an uplifting message or positive message to a young artist, or even to yourself as a younger artist, what would you say?
I would say and I just I found this one. This was like early April. I saw this on one of another artist at an event I was doing here over in Waco. Um, it was saying it was like a comic, or I think he had it said they're going to, some people have opinions, just write it, create it anyway. They'll tell you it can't be done, just create it anyway. Like it was basically a message that said things will happen, that's life, just write it anyway. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to yourself to make it exist. Because my mom told me this once. I graduated A&M, which is like very conservative, like campus, like 3% of us are there, like black. It's crazy. But
Oh,
she told me, yeah, she told me when I was there though. She said finish because once you do it, they can't take it away from you.
Yeah,
And that taught me that's the approach I take towards this, towards creating. You know, like I said, it's hard to make Coleco, but either way, it's going to get done because once it's done, the world can't take that from you.
yeah,
So, and I tell, you know, I do these workshops as well, and I tell people that they always say, well, you know, I'm not black, I'm this, I'm not, you know, I'm white, I'm that, I'm whatever. It's like, no, this applies to you. Create it, put it out there. I can teach you how to do the story. You know, I can teach you how to make people care about it, but put it out there. No matter what people say. I'm telling you, somebody that's been there, been all of that stuff, been broke, been black, been couldn't do this, you know, just put it out there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. My first book was like 16 pages. It wasn't that much at all, but there was enough to grind out, squeeze out those final two books.
yeah.
And then the other ones came. And
Nice.
that's what you got to do. So that would be my advice.
Perfect. That's awesome advice. So I also asked the Kane Lynch. I asked him, and I'm gonna ask you as well. Is there a dream location or a dream studio setup that you have in mind? What would be your dream writer studio? What would that look like?
So it's like anywhere in the world and you set up.
Yeah, yeah, your dream setup.
Man, it would probably be there at the Getty in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Probably there. Um, that would be just a whole studio where just black indie writers can come in and just put out their shit, be it a video game, be it a comic, be it an animated um outfit. Those are the three I would want to do. And we
nice.
would just pump that out. It would be like, you know, Marvel was known as the House of Ideas. That's what it would be. A lot of milestone energy would be going on in there.
So the Getty Museum, the one up on the hill?
Hmm.
Wow. Why
That
that?
one right there. It's really nice. And then I took my wife there. She really liked it.
It is.
And the grass there is just like it's like a car like whew, I need some of this grass right here. It's
You're
really
breaking up a
nice.
little bit, by the
But
way.
oh, sorry.
I don't know what we can do,
Am I
but
good now?
just repeat yourself a little bit because you broke up a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. Um, so I guess it would be the so it'd be the Getty just because it's I like that location. I took my wife up there. She really liked it. That was one of the first places when I first started going to the West Coast back in 2016, that I got to see. And it's just kind of out there. I like places that are just kind of isolated where you can just get your juices flowing, you
Okay,
know.
perfect. And then I have one more question. What's your latest find? Like something to help you? Like with me, I have a couple of new art supplies. Is there some writing tool, a book, something that you use to motivate? What's your latest art find? Uh,
My latest art find.
yeah,
It would
so
probably
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What are you
No,
saying?
just something that motivates you, help you with your art, your writing practice. Is there something new that you've discovered that you want to share with people? It could
For
even be a
me,
methodology.
yeah, yeah. For me, honestly, and it's great. Like I go right back to that cardio. Just I'll kind of cool down a little bit and just do a few pages, a few comic book pages. That's what I'll do, and I'll
Okay.
just do maybe two or three, and that's how. So books one and two of Kaliko are done. That's how book three got done.
So just right away after you work out.
And some days 6 and 7 pages will spill out. Yeah, it's been weird, you know, because well, for me, we're entering the summer months here. It's really, really hot, and it's really hard for me to get creative because I'm actually not a warm weather person at all. I'm a November baby, so
Mm,
so a lot of times I'm just like, why I'm doing this. You know, even at events, I'm like, I'm all right, guys. It's just, man,
it's too hot.
I needed to be under 95 just one day. But so as it's warmed up, you know, kind of doing that has helped a little bit in the summer because that's what's slowing down a couple of the books, admittedly. Just I've told our artists just we got to take a break for a little bit. I'm hot. I'm sorry. I know that sounds like it's too hot. I'm too hot. But I'm trying this now. So far, it's worked. As far as doing it, putting out a few pages to give to her. So we'll see how that goes as we enter June and July. You'll have to get back with me for an update.
Do you write on your laptop or do you write manually? Do you
I manually do the outlines of the book. I'm sorry, the page outlines. So here, I can show y'all real quick. What's a good one here? What's some? Well, these are all book fours. These are all book fours right now. Let me see. Yeah, where's some action here? Yeah, here's a little bit of like action and things like that. So this is my rough outline,
put it up to your chest so we can see it like closer to, yeah, there we go.
like that.
So
Yeah.
it's a rough, okay.
Yeah, so it's a rough outline, and I'll scan these in and give to my artist.
Wow.
But she already has the story Bible. Now that is all typed, obviously on the computer and things like that. And it's the entire story from start to finish. Um,
When you're writing, do you have a certain, like I've talked to other writers and they have a certain number of words they want to write in a day? Do you subscribe to that?
I would prefer writing. Well, when you're first starting, I would break it down into spend one day, who is the character? Spend another, it's really break it down into that. What do they need to do? Who's stopping them? What do they learn? And then after that, then you can start kind of working on scenes. And try to do a scene a day.
Okay.
So some scenes will be longer than others. Like if it's an action scene, it's like, longer than a couple of pages, but you're gonna get that out real quick. That's what you've been waiting to write. That's the part you've been thinking about. You
Yeah.
know.
That's the same with art, with drawing it. I'm like, I'm drawing all the violent zombie eating pages first, and then think about all the transitional pages of plot, right?
Right, right,
It's not boring, but the more, get you from A to B, right?
right, right.
The whole
And
fun is just tearing the flesh and eating and da 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 da, all the horror,
right.
all the horror stuff, the exciting stuff, and then I have
That's mine.
figure out, okay, now I need to draw them having a discussion in a quieter moment, right? So yeah, that's
Right.
the same way. That's what I've
That's what it is.
been
Yeah.
waiting to tear everything up. Oh,
And in those in between moments, I always try to make, for me, I always try to do what can we learn about our character,
yeah,
or yeah, I always try to do that because if you're able to do that in between, man, you can play spades up with them flesh eating scenes all day like that. It stings. It stings the reader at that point,
yeah,
you
and you
know.
want to slide sometimes a little message in there in the quieter moments, right?
Right, right. That's a little playground too. That's one thing I've grown that I think I've really developed as a writer, just finding some of those finding the joy in those mundane moments.
Yeah.
Because they're still tough to write out,
Hmm.
but there's a lot you could do there if you're nice with it. Yeah.
And it's also for me a great visual learning exercise. How can I make this page dynamic even though it seems like nothing is happening? So how
Mm,
can I present it in a way that's, like you said, is a page turner, going to catch your eye and practice that part of creating or storytelling, right? Uh,
mm,
that's the stuff that you really want to fine tune, is those in between moments. You don't want it to stop or slow the story to stop or slow down, but you do want to have a little bit, maybe more dialogue, a little bit more sort of plot points that are gonna probably hit later, like that punchline is gonna hit later, and it's all the foundation is being made in those quieter moments, right?
mhm.
And learning to do that is the hardest part, I feel like, especially as a writer and a artist. Like when you're doing that simultaneously, that is tough. And I feel like a baby in this industry, and I'm slowly getting better at also doing it with less art and less words, and just kind
Mm.
of with so many wonderful artists can do it with just one, two strokes of a pen. in terms of art, or just one or two lines that really, like you said, have that zing. And just like learning to do that is just, it's fun, but it's a challenge, and it's something I really really enjoy doing. Like I said, I hope you do bring your horror comic to Oakland Creates next year. It'll be amazing to have you there.
Yeah.
It was so awesome to have you with us this year. Thank you so much for doing this interview. And just, you really inspire me. Keep going. Like, I've seen your content on Instagram where you're organizing now. And so it's just awesome, awesome stuff that you're doing, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. We got more stuff coming for you for sure.
And I really want to give you space to shout out your social media and your Kickstarter. Tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, for sure. So at Fobbs, Fobbs, the chairman, at Fobbs, the chairman on Instagram. That's the rallying point. I'm doing videos about a few times a week telling you what's coming next, just kind of what I'm doing around the house as a creator, or where we're going. Because it's a road trip too. That's kind of why I started this too. I'm a traveler. I like to get out on the road and see people. And as you know,
Yeah.
so we're always letting people know we'll be next. It's just a good time to fellowship, It's like spreading this, telling people, man, get out here and do it. Don't let the white supremacists stop you out here. So again, Fobbs, the chairman, come over, just be inspired, come see what we got. Shout out again to Gulf Coast Cosmos in Houston. Shout out to Byron, Treasure, and those people. Just shout out to the whole H-Town creative community, Jon Snow, Crimson Lust Comics, all those people, Desmond, all of y'all. Shout out.
Thank you so much. And your Kickstarter, do you have a URL for your Kickstarter?
Yes. So if you go on the Kickstarter, if you go on Instagram, it's right there in the bio. You've got all the little blue things that you just click and it comes up.
Perfect.
It's right there.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna end the interview right here. You are awesome. Thank you, and thank you guys for watching.